Good morning. Actually, we need to cover the further part of our last lecture. Due to lockdown, we need to teach from home, and then we tried to create the lecture by utilizing the various softwares, and then we are providing on the YouTube. So my appeal, all of you go through the lecture, then ultimately it helps a lot to understand the concept, and then ultimately by reading the book or by referring the notes, then easily you people can understand by going through lectures. So here you people can get the clear idea about the multiple cells, or you can say the multiple base stations. So this one cell is nothing but the one base station. Here you people can get the clear idea about the cell. The area of the cells ultimately you people can keeping in the hexagonal mode or in the shape like a hexagonal, because already we have been discussing the unit number 3. So again I will tell you. So if you have been put in the circle, then ultimately if you have drawn a 3 circle, then it's very difficult to show. For example, this you have been writing this kind of the circle, and then ultimately so this kind of the area we cannot be covered by putting this kind of the geographical area. So that's why we need to put like a hexagon itself. Okay, then here you people can again see over here, this is the one cell has been drawn in this particular cell number 2. So this is nothing but the micro cells has been created because the handoff of the subscriber 1 from cell 2 to micro cell. For example, so this kind of the situation can occurs or create. So in the basement of the multi-storage building, for example, if you have visited to the Phoenix Mall, in the basement, so there is no range of the mobile communication system. So there the service provider has to make the one particular micro cell, and then micro cells is only related to cover the basement area of the multi-storage building. So this is nothing but the cell splitting concept. Again you people can get over here. And then here handoff process, handoff the subscriber 2 from cell 3 to cell 4. So here the micro cells concepts also has been, people can get easily or easily understand by considering this one. Here the handoff process, how the handoff process happens by crossing the one cell to another cell. Ultimately you people can get the clear idea about this particular. Actually, the cells are often subdivided into the micro cells. A handoff may occur when there is a transfer of the duties from a large cell to smaller cell, and vice versa. For example, there is a traveling user moving within the jurisdiction of a large cell. So if you want to split the large cell, so that micro cell has been only dedicated to cover that particular small area. Already I told you one examples of the Phoenix Mall, or also you have been visited in orbit. So there is they have been created one particular micro cells to cover the basement of that building. If the traveler stops, then the jurisdiction is transferred to the micro cell to relieve the load on the large cell. So ultimately, if you have been utilize the cell phone in the basement area, and then the strength signal is very weak, and then ultimately sometime the mobile system can catch the signal, sometime it may lose the signal. So in that particular process, the base station has to release the more power, and then ultimately the more power has been consumed by the base station. So in that particular, to serve the power of base station, then ultimately the suitable solution for to serve the power of the base station to create the micro cells for the proper utilization of your mobile phone. The handoff may also occur when there is an interference of calls using the same frequency for the communication. At some time, ultimately, the frequency use concepts again comes into the mobile communication system. If the same frequency have been utilizing for the adjacent cell, then ultimately the interchannel interference may occur. So in that particular case, so we people has to avoid to utilize the same frequency within the adjacent cells. Here one examples I'm going to so here you people can see the Olympic. If you are the fan of the Summer Olympics, then I'm sure have watched the plenty of track, even especially with example 400 and 800-meter relays. Then ultimately, if you have been seen the any athletes while running on the ground, so then ultimately the first player has to take one particular the flag, and then whenever he hand over to the another one, and then he can start the running from that particular place, otherwise he can't. The same thing has been occur in our mobile cellular communication system. The four athletes running the each event and hand a button off to the next athletes until the race is complete. Although the handoffs are usually done without mishap. So here again, for example, the hospital examples I have been shown over here. So for the better understanding, the patient handover the process. Handover is the transfer. Handover is nothing but the transfer to the professional responsibility and accountability for the or all aspects of the care for the patients or group of the patients to another person or the professionals group on the temporary or permanent basis. So ultimately in the hospital there are nurses are working, and then ultimately they are working in the shift, and then the patients are remain in the hospital. So ultimately the one sister has to hand over the files and the subscription of the all patients to the another one, those who will come in the next shift. So this is one of the good examples of the handover process. So nursing report and the information sharing. For a report to be meaningful, the information to the receiver has to be given in the effective way. Actually, whenever you are handing or overing the any process or handing over the any files to the subordinate, so here you people can get a clear idea about the previous happenings. The nursing handover using the accurate and the documented information promotes the effective time management. So within that particular specific time, then you have to manage the things. So the same thing happened in the mobile communication system also. There are two kind of the handover process. So one is the actually there are four kinds of the handover process or handover process. You people can say hard handover, soft handover, horizontal handover, and then vertical handover. So here you people can get the clear about by observing this particular diagram. This is the handover request. So this is the one particular user has been crossing, moving from